Hey, this is Sebastian from the Metal Gods Meltdown, and tonight I'm joined by
Stefan Keller, guitar player of the German metal band Neara.
Your self-titled album was released at the end of February. How pleased are you with the media response and fans' response so far?
Yeah, we're absolutely overwhelmed and absolutely positive about it. I mean, we were not really waiting for like negative reviews or something like this, or critical reviews, but actually there weren't really any critical reviews or something. Like everyone who we talked to or who sent us a message, or every review that we read were by people who were really happy with the record. So I mean, our fans are very happy with it, and also the reviews that we read in all kinds of magazines were always really cool reviews that actually really you can identify with, or we could identify with, and we had the feeling, they understood what this record is about, and they all got it the right way. I think that's a very cool feeling for a band, to have the feeling that you are understood by journalists, or by the media, or also by the fans. Yes, I mean, it's not a piece of art or something like this. It's just like a metal record, modern metal record, really. But nevertheless, you can still understand or misconceive a band somehow, and that is something that went absolutely well. So we're really happy.
This is your 7th album after 7 years. How significant is it to what is happening in the world, and which track would you use to sum up what the world currently faces from the new album?
Yeah, I think actually that particularly this record, I mean, we always try to write lyrics about things that are happening at the moment that are somehow relevant or somehow significant. Yeah, we're not a power metal band, or we're not writing fantasy lyrics or something like this. So always stick to reality and to what's going on, and also to what's going wrong in the world. So I mean, that's pretty much the essence of our lyrics, apart from writing lyrics about the individual or the self, or the challenges that everyone meets, fear or anger or something like this. But nevertheless, most of our lyrics are about the circumstances that we're living in, and particularly this last record. The world offered so much substance that we could use for our lyrics, and that could be combined with these quite aggressive songs so well. So if you look at for example, the reawakening of right-wing politics and populism, for example, there's a song like "Sunset of Mankind" and also "False Shepherds" on the record. If you look at the way that we treat our climate, for example, with climate change and global warming and all this whole issue, we have the song "Rid the Earth of the Human Virus." We also wrote lyrics about maybe how refugees are treated, maybe, or also how they are drowning in the Mediterranean Sea, in a song like "Carrier." So yeah, we picked up topics that were relevant to us, or that are relevant in the media at the moment. And to your question, which song I would use, I think maybe I would use a song like "Rid the Earth of the Human Virus," because this, apart from the corona, the destruction of our planet by ourselves, I think is probably the biggest issue at the moment. This is what this song deals with.
Obviously, this has had a horrendous effect on everything. As a band, you've obviously had to cancel tours, etc. Have you thought about doing webcasts?
Well, at the moment, we haven't. I mean, at the moment, I think it just really started last week or something, that you can watch all these concerts on over the internet, and I think that's great. I mean, sometimes there are even bands that postpone their release. For example, Enslaved postponed their release because they think it's just not a good timing for a record. We put like probably maybe 2 or 3 years of work into it, and now we can release it. And then that's it, because we can tour and all these things. Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, for us as a band, I can't imagine us like playing a show without an audience or something and record it. I don't think that's really like our thing. But I mean, you have to see what the future brings, and when this whole thing is over, I think it will probably accompany us for quite a few months, and when they do not find something like an antidote or something in next winter, then the pandemic will probably accompany us even longer. Yeah, we're not sure what's happening. Actually, we're sad about the fact that we cannot play these Impericon shows in April, for example. This would have been like 5 really cool shows with cool bands, with our friends of As I Lay Dying. That would have been really fantastic. Now it's not happening. It's postponed to September, and yeah, we'll see if it's happening then. We hope for the best. But reckon with the worst. We're definitely positive about the fact that we could release our record without any inconveniences, and that we could like play our record release show at the end of February. So I think we were like one of the few bands that still like played a show, and I think 2 weeks later, or 1 or 2 weeks later, there were no concerts anymore. So in terms of timing, I think we were really lucky. And now, we have the same problems as other bands. Yeah, the only difference being Neara is not like a full-time band or something. We all have jobs, we all have family, and we have other ways of income or something. We're not in for the money with this band, so we're not dependent on it, and that is something where we are lucky. I know that there are bands that are trying or are making a living of it, and I feel very sorry for these bands who were really struggling at the moment, and I can only say that we're we're thankful for the fact that it also hits us, but it probably doesn't hit us as hard as others.
The album is the full package, even down to the artwork, which is really quite eye-catching and interesting. Do you have that framed on your wall at home?
I have the vinyl edition and the CD, the Digipack CD, and I have this box set that we released this time. I'm actually like finding an artwork for a record is always something that I think in a band can be complicated, because you have like 5 people and 5 people have to agree on something, and I think it's very rare or very unusual if you have like an idea for a layout and say like, this is the layout, and 5 people are saying that is exactly it, thank you very much, the thing is done. So I think with this layout also we had a lot of discussions in the band, whether we should change it somehow, or whether we should like keep it that way, or whatever. And I have to say, like, I'm very happy with it. Like I think it's a perfect cover for this record, because it's a self-titled record. It deals with like it's the essence. It combines the essence of the band and of the musical style, but also of the band's name, like this Greek woman from Greek mythology who was like sexually enslaved, and then later on, so to say, like freed herself from these circumstances. This is like the person that you can see on this cover, but she is like surrounded by snakes, but the snakes are not attacking her or something, but it rather appears like that she is like has control over these snakes, so she has like control over the bad in the world, over the things that want to put her down or something, that are against her. And I think that is like a brilliant symbol, for everyone who is like struggling with things. And it's something like maybe something like a role model or something that's it's just like a very strong, impressive figure that is like surrounded by darkness and by enemies or something. but still finds a way of dealing with it in a positive way with a positive outcome. And I think that is I think that's this idea. I don't know if like the listener or the viewer sees it that way or something like this, but yeah, I think it's like somehow it becomes apparent. Yeah, there's a lot of darkness in it, but it's not a darkness that is maybe mean or something like this, but there's like another idea behind it. I think people are getting this.
You guys split and reformed. How pleased are you as a band that you actually did reform?
We didn't break up for that long, because like we when we decided to quit the band, it was a good. I think it was a healthy decision. I think it was the right decision. I think without this decision, this record would not have been possible in any way. I think we would have written a record that would have been worse. Would not have been of such a quality or something, and the feeling would have been a completely different one. I think it was a necessary step to say like, okay, we did 6 records, we're happy with it. We played like 400 shows. We're happy with what we achieved, and at this state, it's just like a good thing to call it quits. And I think for a while that was absolutely fine. There were no plans to say like, let's stop now and reunite in 3 years or something like this. But yeah, there was this offer from the Impericon festivals to say like, do you want to play 2 shows? It was just like a thing where we could say like, okay, we could say no, or we could just like say yes and see what happens. And this is simply what we did. But since the reactions were so positive and so overwhelming to us, we had the feeling, okay, obviously people are still interested in us and people have not forgotten us. But that was like a surprise to us. I mean, we thought like if people had forgotten about us or something, or say like, okay, I mean, this band ceased to exist, and that's absolutely okay or something. But obviously it was not okay for the people, so they were really happy that we played shows again. And I think we thought about this, and I think it touched us somehow. And then then songwriting began, and we really slowly thought about this idea of like doing a complete record. And I think it took like a few months until everyone was like really also like convinced that this should be the next step and that we should take this step. And I mean, everything has worked out absolutely fine so far. Yeah, I love doing these interviews, like so many people that are into the music, and not only like into the music, but what's more important to me is actually that people are like, people seem to understand the band, and people do research and ask like very good questions, and you could see that people like are prepared in interviews and these things, and also with reviews. And I think it's just like a great thing of being like acknowledged, being taken seriously, and that's something really cool. And most of all, of course, it's something positive for our fans that are very loyal and very I think a very cool crowd that are very faithful and seem to be very like sincere and honest people. And I think that's like for them, of course, it's the coolest thing. And for us, it's also a cool thing. So yeah, it's that's how it is.
going back in time, can you remember the first ever performance with Neaera and how it felt to have people watching you guys?
Actually, I can. Yes, I mean, I think the band had one gig before I joined the band. So before there were like 4 people, and then a few months later, I came in. Then we played a show where actually Maroon were headlining, and we were the first band. And yeah, I think there's still like actually there's still a recording of this show. It looks like a school band actually. That no one is moving on stage. We're just like standing there. No one is headbanging. We're all like focused on our instruments, and I think it's very funny. I mean, it looks like yeah, it just like looks like a first show. I mean, it looks like the first step of a band. I don't know if you were like an outsider or something and saw this show. I don't think that you would have thought. I think someday this band will sign a record deal with Metal Blade and tour Europe and release an album that hits like the German charts on number 8 or something like this. I think if you would have just like saw it and think like, okay, it's just like another underground band that is trying to be a good band or something. Yeah, I think that was pretty much our first show.
So growing up, which band posters did you have on your bedroom wall?
Actually, I have two posters in my music room, or in the room where I play guitar. One poster is Wardane of Nevermore, and on the other side it's Chuck Schuldiner of Death. To me, I think these are probably like the two most important musicians. I think in my personal development, Death is like Death is my favorite band. Symbolic is my favorite record. And apart from that, I'm a huge Rush fan. These are my heroes. But I think in terms of like writing lyrics and writing music, I think I was more influenced by a band like Nevermore or the early Dark Tranquillity records. But also by bands like Death or Carcass or both Roar. But I'm also a big like power metal fan. I love Psychotic Waltz and Fate's Warning a lot. I also like traditional metal, for example. I listened a lot to Running Wild recently. I'm pretty much open for anything. Listened to the Cranberries a lot yesterday and today. Their debut record. To me, music is like a great offer. It's a huge universe. Time is too short to dive into everything. Time is also too short to be like too narrow-minded, and so I'm checking out as much as I can. Sometimes I just like listen to music that I know, that is familiar to me or something. Sometimes I'm really up for something new, and I love to discover new things, and I think it's very like invigorating if you have like if you found something new and say like I found this new band and I'm absolutely like stoked about them, or I'm absolutely hyped or something. But yeah, I think in terms of like my personal heroes, I think I'll always stay with the old like cult bands like Carcass, Death.
Vinyl or digital?
I kind of feel bad when I say this, but I'm not really I'm not into vinyl that much. I love it. I think it's great, but somehow it never happened that I have become a vinyl collector or something like this. So actually, I have a lot of CDs. I'm still buying CDs, but of course. I'm also like streaming a lot of music, and of course the advantages are all there. So actually, I think I'm more digital than vinyl.
Bratwurst or beer?
Well, I think I have been a vegetarian for more than 20 years. Bratwurst is something I haven't eaten in a very long time. So yes, but beer is excellent. There can never be anything wrong with beer. So I'm going with beer. Yeah.
Rammstein or Accept?
Yeah, that's easy. I think that's definitely Rammstein. I mean, Rammstein are also like one of my favorite bands. Like recently, like not too much anymore, but I think when Mutter or Reise Reise came out, I mean that was just like massive. And Reise Reise is my favorite record of Rammstein, and when I listen to it, I think it's still like a very unique band, and the performances are unique. So yeah, Rammstein is excellent. Yeah.
Okay, small gig or a festival?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I go with the small gig. I like festivals a lot. I like big stages a lot. Actually, I like the feeling and the atmosphere of festivals, as everyone does. But I think in terms of like in terms of an emotional escape or something, I think I'll always go with the club show, because like it's more intense. You're closer to the people, and you're sweating more, and the others are sweating more. So it's always a little more intense as a big festival stage or something. Yeah.
Donald Trump or Kermit the Frog?
Yeah, is that a question? Whether you think Kermit the Frog would be a better American president?
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe, yes. could be worth a try. That's a difficult question. I mean, in terms of entertainment, I think I'd go with Kermit the Frog, because maybe it's not that entertaining or something, but it doesn't hurt that much either. So maybe Kermit the Frog is a better choice. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Do you have any final words for your fans and our listeners?
Unfortunately, there are no plans really that I can like tell you when we're coming to England or the UK or something. But we definitely love to be back. I so much love like the English, the music scene that is around, yes, I'm going to England like once a year, always myself, yes, would be definitely a pleasure to come back and play a few shows and meet a few of you guys. Definitely, yes. Hello, everybody. This is Stefan of Neara speaking here from Germany. You're listening to Metal Gods Meltdown. Enjoy.